Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Coyote by Tommy Richman. Tommy Richman is somebody that does need introduction. Blowing up literally this year with $1 Million Baby, which came out in April. Obviously, if you have TikTok or if you just have social media in general, you definitely heard this song, $1 Million Baby. Again, blew up super quick, coming out in April. I don't listen to the radio, so I'm not sure if it was getting radio hits, but it does have 846 million streams so far on Spotify in just a couple months. So that is pretty good numbers. And he does have 31 million listeners, majority I would assume from this song as well. Tommy Richman is only 24. It looks like he's from Virginia. And he's been doing this music thing for a decent amount of time. Looks like he started in about 2019, just releasing a couple singles, but obviously $1 Million Baby kind of cements his profession as a musical artist for now on. He's signed to Brent Faiyaz's label, and that does make a lot of sense to me, especially in the sound landscape that he works in. I didn't realize that until now, but when I was listening to the album a couple times, I did think of Brent and thinking that he could kind of use these productions for his own music. So that makes sense to me. But again, getting into the album Coyote, he's working quick. I will say that. Good idea to kind of get an album right when it's hot, right when the iron is hot, instead of waiting a year or whatever and pretending like you're a little bit more popular than you are. So Coyote is 11 songs, 36 minutes, and has a couple features. My Name Isn't Jack, Trevor Spitta, Zachary Moon. I don't believe these are any famous people or anything like that. I believe I saw that he only put people that came up with him on the album as well. So no famous features or anything like that. Interestingly enough, Coyote also does not have his biggest song, $1 Million Baby. So he doesn't have his biggest song and he doesn't have any famous people on his album. Do I understand this from an ego play? 100%. You kind of want to prove yourself. You want to show that you're more than what you just blew up on. You don't need Brent Faiyaz on the track. You don't need whoever to kind of give you a boost. I understand that. Do I agree with that? Personally, no. If you really want to be $1 Million Baby, I think you put that $1 Million Baby joint on this album. But I digress. Getting into what is actually on the album, it starts off with Elephant in the Room, which was a promising little start, but it does get a little bit finicky at the end. Whitney is okay. Seems like the second biggest song on the album. Temptations just isn't good. The production on Whisper in My Ear is solid. Same thing with Give It All. I think the production is good, but the vocals are really bad. Thought You Were the One seems like it's the biggest song on the album with 4 million streams, and the rest of the music has less than almost 500,000 for all of the other songs. And Thought You Were the One is probably the biggest song, because if you didn't know, you'd probably think that that was $1 Million Baby, because it sounds almost exactly the same. And then we get into the last bit of the album, which is all just songs. You don't need any of them, and it just gets repetitive. So again, Tommy Richman he's trying. But to get into the grades, production, I did give it an 8, because if you just take one of these songs alone, outside of an album and outside of Tommy Richman's name, you can give it to somebody like Brent, you can give it to somebody like even The Weeknd, and I think they could do something with it. Aside from the one sound that he uses, it's a well-produced sound in that sense. But vocals and lyrics, I gave his vocals a 2.5 and his lyrics a 2.5. Like if Elmo wanted to be a trap R&B singer, he only has that song, or he only has that sound. He doesn't have any other voice, it seems like. I don't know what his regular speaking voice would sound like based off of this either. And his lyrics he's not saying shit. I don't know what to expect. Again, when you blow up off of one specific thing, on TikTok, that is, I can't expect too much from him. I don't know him. I don't want to say that he can't write. I don't want to say he can't sing, but I just don't think whatever he did on this album was good, singing or writing. To get into cohesion, I gave it an 8 just for the sound cohesion, and he has this vibe. But I don't think I would be able to tell you, like, if you played any of these songs without me knowing the name, I don't think I could tell you which one was which. So it is maybe too cohesive, I guess. but an 8 for cohesion. For originality, I gave it a 6. Again, you only have this one sound. You have not changed it up. You made us 11 more songs in that same exact style. And along with that, I do hear and feel rhythms and ideas that were present literally 40 years ago, 50 years ago in the 70s and 80s. You know, Soul Train vibe, where it's just kind of this fun, funky R&B, if you will. But I can hear these, again, these rhythms, these patterns that I've heard years and years and years ago that they kind of used again. And there's just nothing new on this album at all. So I did give it a 6 for originality. For quality and care, I gave it a 7. Again, I respect striking when the iron is hot. So 6 months from blowing up, you already have an album for your fans, whoever they might be. I will respect that. You don't have famous people on it. I will respect that. You don't even have your biggest song on it. I will respect that. So I gave him a 7 for those points. But I don't think this album is enough to get you over the hump of what $1 Million Baby has around your head right now. Obviously, if I see Tommy Richman, if anybody sees the name, whatever, it's $1 Million Baby. I don't think this album is enough to say, hey, kick $1 Million Baby off, go listen to Coyote. I don't think it's enough to separate you from that original blow up, and I don't think it was smart to pretend like it could. I respect the hustle and the grind and the attempt though. So I gave him a 7 for quality and care. But with an 8, a 2.5, a 2.5, an 8, a 6, and a 7, that does put this album at a 68. I think it's fair. Again, this is just a TikTok star making music over Rainbow Road alternative sounds. If you liked Tommy Richman, if you really enjoyed $1 Million Baby, even Devil Is a Lie is okay. If you really, really enjoy those songs and you have 36 minutes to spare, go check it out. It's a casual album. I don't think you're going to get anything, you know, there's no song of the year or anything like that on this. I'm not trying to be a hater. Like, it's not a bad attempt against 68 is okay. You still pass your class. But it's nothing crazy. But that's $1 Million Baby. Or excuse me, I fucked up. See, even there. That's Coyote by Tommy Richman, and I'll see you in the next one.